Next one is going to be Nico, and after Nico is going to be Joshua. So be prepared. Good. And it's about testing in cloud with robot framework, mobile and web. So Nico, please.
All right. Okay, so meanwhile, so I'm Nico Tsankar. I'm coming from a company called Bitbar, and we have until now we have had just a mobile device cloud, but we're also now in Q1 bringing browsers to the cloud. So I'm going to be really quick. So you know that robot framework can be used for anything, but whenever you start to scale your testing, whatever you do with robot framework, the first problem becomes that it works on my machine, it doesn't work for everybody else. So then you have the keyword DevOps. So make sure that whatever you do, you package it, be it a virtual machines first, maybe Dockerize virtual environments with Python, script the setup, and make it package and version controlled, so that also your colleague can set it up on his machine. And that's the initial purpose, get everybody else in the team to use what you have created. But then comes the question, why would you want to maintain all the related browsers or devices locally, where you have service providers that do that for you? And once you have done the packaging, it should be easy to just move your existing environment to a cloud solution and run your tests there. So we provide, in the case of Appium and Selenium, two approaches to run your tests. Either you run your tests locally with the device and the browsers in the cloud. But as you have more tests, you have plenty of devices. The question comes, how do you run against all of the devices? You don't want to do that sequentially. It's okay for a few devices. It's okay for a few tests. But then once the test cases start to take tens of minutes or half an hour, you won't be able to scale that on 10 or 15 devices or 100 devices. So the solution is take your test as it is, zip it, and push it into the cloud, and let the cloud then execute that for you on a scale. So we call it cloud-side or server-side execution. You take your test package, you zip it, you put it on the cloud, select the devices that you want, be it one device, be it 10 devices, or 100 devices, and the cloud will execute those in parallel against real devices or browsers. And you will then get all the results in the cloud. They'll be there, shareable with your team, with your managers, with all the artifacts, screenshots, recordings of the executions, and so on, performance logs, so that you can then even afterwards come there and check how did the actual execution go. That's when you do it on your own, but of course you want to have this automated, so you use Jenkins or any other CI solution, and you push the execution. You start them from Jenkins or a CI solution. You get the results in the CI, and you can have that then again shared inside the company, however you want to do. And then you will be able to concentrate on actual doing the thing that you're best at, doing the testing. So you will concentrate on doing the test steps, making your scripts. You don't want to wait for, is the colleague using the iOS devices that you were planning on using today, because you'll execute all of these in the cloud. And so we have the idea that we don't want to enforce any specific environment. Whichever environment you're using, we provide you a bash environment. You can set up there whichever version of Robot, Appium combination, or you can use some external tools. You can create and bring your own Docker solutions and use those to run against the devices that we host. But then, of course, if you use the public cloud, you can use Jenkins or Jenkins plugin to help you make the CI solution easier. Blah, blah, blah. So questions I also have. I just launched while waiting for the talk. I launched a test run, so I can very quickly show how it looks. So this is now a robot framework Appium test execution on a really, really difficult and complicated sample application that has 3 questions, and all of them are wrong or right. There's no kind of failure in themselves. Then we report the errors, we show them, and then you have the screenshots, performance logs, and so on. Let's see if the previous one was somewhat. Yes, so fails intentionally, and so on. All right, questions?
Are the devices you're testing against virtual or physical?
Those are physical, real devices. We can also set up emulators or simulators. We currently don't have them kind of officially supported, but they're installed there, and you can launch them and use them if you want to or need to.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Nico.
No problem.